Indian River Connections brings you the first source you can watch for truth on board decisions in Indian River County. The Board Report, where taxpayers and policymakers intersect. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite platform to get notified when we go live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Visit IndianRiverConnections.com for more.
We're back for another week of the Board Report. Hey, Joanne. Hi, Thomas. How's everybody doing?
Doing really good.
Fix my screen. It's weird. Every time we go live, something happens as soon as it initiates, so I had to fix my screen real quick.
I was watching our intro and I was thinking, wow, we have evolved in the few years we've been doing this, because you could see all our different screens,
Yes.
in the opening that have changed from the beginning to today.
The graphics and all that, the intro.
So much better now.
Hopefully we sound better.
Older than usual.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, man? I'm still trying to live life, live young. My soul is still young.
There you go.
Right.
I'm young in terms of eternity.
Right. So we have a lot to talk about this week. It's been an interesting week with quotes and stuff like that from all kinds of people about this property tax thing. We have a inmate who escaped, I think, from Volusia County. They apprehended here in Indian River County. There was some,
but you can't hide.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a kind of a wacky news week. You had the 80-year-old that was apprehended on Route 60 with a Corvette and an ounce or so of weed all bagged up for sale. Oh, plus he had his Glock on him. And
80 years old.
He was 79 years old with nice
weed
Corvette.
and a Glock. That makes no sense.
and a Glock and a Corvette, huh?
Yeah, and he had all his weed all bagged up, ready for sale. And he told them, I guess he admitted, yeah, I'm selling it. It's like, okay. So he's still living life.
20.
Right?
living life on the edge.
Right. So, yeah, so a lot going on. We can start anywhere.
Guy.
Yeah. I almost wonder, though. Like, you almost have to wonder, is this a plea for maybe medical attention? But he's driving a Corvette. I don't know.
He's trying to pick up a girl while he's doing
it. So he can get back in his car and speed away.
Yeah. Well, I saw the Corvette the other day on the flatbed. I was on my way home, so I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it was being impounded. I wonder if we'll see, sheriff's decals on it in the next couple months. Our sheriff's department really doesn't do that, though. You don't see much of that. But
no, they just buy their cars.
Well, since we're talking about the sheriff's department, we might as well. No.
What is this reaction, Thomas?
I'm sick of talking about that place.
I know. But what I was referring to was the convict. There was an escapee that was he was due for release too, and from what I understand,
in October.
Yes, decided to jump ship, and they apprehended him here in Florida, and we'll play that. But first, we are going to play an ad from one of our sponsors tonight, and when we come right back, we'll lead off with that story, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the current political atmosphere when it comes to tax relief. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Jump right into it, right?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pippin, and I'm running for Indian River County Commission District 2. As a wife, mother, and longtime community advocate, I've spent years standing up for taxpayers, families, and government accountability. I'm running to protect our quality of life, support law enforcement, manage growth responsibly, and ensure your tax dollars are spent wisely. To learn more, request a yard sign, volunteer, or get involved, visit votejenniferpippin.com. Together, we can keep Indian River County the best place to live, work, and raise a family. I'm looking forward to earning your vote on August 18th.
The primaries are coming up quick.
They are August 18th.
Yes, and we're going to be hearing a lot from a lot more politicians, which, quick shout out for the 10th, the show on the 10th. Joanne, you booked one of the candidates for District 8, right? We're District 9.
District 9, that's our
Yeah.
district, because I'm trying to get a hold of those candidates so we can bring them on the show, and people that are watching our show can tap in and listen to these candidates, because they can't always go to the events that they go to, like all of the
Yeah.
Republican events and the Spanish Republicans. And that's Thomas Chalifoux.
So
Is that how you say it? Chalifoux? Chalifoux.
Yeah. So we look forward to meeting Thomas and all that, and we'll get into the other candidates running probably later in the show. But back to the story we led off with, which was the DOC escapee. And
Department of Corrections, for all
Yep.
you not into government acronyms.
Yeah, we can play the video and comment on it if you want. And
DOC is what? Department of Crime?
Here's our multimedia content from the Sheriff's Department.
Is that the guy right there in the picture in the corner?
Yes.
Stand by for
Boy.
Ooh, we got play-by-play.
U.S. Marshals, Fugitive Task Force.
Police for the war! Come to the door! Police for the war! Come to the door! Police for the war! Come to
The
the
dog's
door!
scared.
No, he's anxious. He's hungry.
Oh, that's the crime
It's his dog.
the canine.
Set. Forcing. Look out, taking a look.
Neighbor's trying to come out.
Stay inside.
Do you know where this is?
This is somewhere in Vero Beach. I don't know. I can't recognize it.
Go out the front door!
So apparently he was trying to go out the back window. And if you don't notice, this is a 2-story apartment building,
Yeah, they're on the second floor.
and it didn't work out, I guess.
Down the shield.
I don't see the sheriff
come on,
anywhere,
man,
the
don't go, bro.
deputies anywhere.
You see a lot of marshals.
Yeah.
Front door.
Front door!
I think the guy in the very beginning, the front, the black shirt, I'm pretty sure his said Sheriff's Department. I could be wrong. Yeah, so it was an easy takedown.
Yeah.
The information I have here, let me pull it back up. I've got a little more on the backstory. Actually, I posted an article on our website
Yeah,
about
looks
it.
like they were watching this complex to see if he actually was in that home.
Yeah, so a flawless takedown by the marshals with
this
cooperation. What's that?
Who is this gentleman? It's the first time I'm seeing this.
Okay, so according to the Indian River County Sheriff's Office, 31-year-old Jalen Tyler Binion escaped from a Department of Corrections work release facility on Sunday before making his way to Indian River County. Investigators say Binion's girlfriend picked him up from the facility and drove him to her apartment on Azalea Lane in Vero Beach.
Was that the apartment?
Yes, yeah, and she was apprehended but later released, I believe. That's why we don't have her. We won't put her name out there. But authorities located him there the following day after receiving information from the U.S. Marshals Service Fugitive Task Force. So the marshals were on him. This is apparently his second attempted escape. Deputies, U.S. Marshals, and members of the Indian River County Sheriff's Office surrounded the second floor. He was trying to escape out the back window. They surrounded the second floor apartment Monday afternoon. According to the arrest report, officers announced their presence and ordered Binion to surrender. Instead, investigators say he opened a rear window, kicked out the screen, and attempted to climb from the second-story apartment in what authorities described as an effort to escape once again. After deputies issued a canine warning, Binion retreated back inside the apartment. When officers were unable to breach the front door, they entered through a sliding glass door before taking him into custody, which we saw there. Body cam footage later released, which is what we were watching, shows portions of the operation. I think they cut out a lot of his girlfriend, but maybe because
she's not,
they haven't charged her yet, maybe with something, but I'm sure there's charges coming, unless she's cooperating somehow.
That
So
was
now,
really-
so now he's facing additional charges.
Yeah, instead of being out in October, he's going to be in there probably for years to come.
Well, he's not going to get work release anymore. That's for sure.
Right. Court records indicate Binion had been incarcerated on multiple grand theft convictions after entering the Florida Department of Corrections in late 2025. Records also show he had been scheduled for release later this year. Like, we're in July. We're at the end of June.
3 months away.
Yeah, there's only 6 months left of the year. This case stands out. Sheriff Eric Flowers said cases like this are uncommon because inmates housed in lower security work release programs are typically nearing the end of their sentences and preparing for transition back into the community. This was a person who was in a
He
lower
was
level.
transitioning, all right.
Right? This was a person who was in lower level custody preparing for release, Flowers said. Nothing that inmates with much longer sentences are generally more likely to attempt. Noting that guys that are in there for life, they're going to try it because they got nothing else to lose. While escapes from Florida Department of
Guys in
Corrections
for life, though,
facilities
aren't doing work release.
No. Escapes from the Department of Corrections facilities are relatively rare. This incident highlights the coordination between local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies when a fugitive crosses county lines. Yeah, if he was driving a car, we would have got him sooner. We'd have got him on Monday.
Well, I just got to say one thing, we just did a nice promo for the police department.
Yeah, I know.
They did a good job.
But the deputies are good, and they're in the continuity between federal. We already know that the federal agencies is seamless, and I don't believe that has anything to do with.
Do you see
the
those
sheriff.
U.S. Marshals though? They're like, break the door.
They did a
Yeah.
good job,
They
though.
broke the
weren't
door.
like-
They broke the window. These guys weren't fooling
Yep.
around.
no.
So they, like this says, investigators initially detained his girlfriend during the operation on suspicion of harboring and aiding an escaped prisoner, which she did. She drove him.
Yeah.
She's going to pay for a lot of repairs
Right.
at her apartment.
Maybe she was ignorant to that he escaped. I don't know, but
How could you?
No
Wait
way.
a minute. She's the girlfriend.
I know, but maybe she's that. Maybe she's not the only girlfriend.
Oh, I got out 4 months early on good behavior. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
She bought
So-
that line. Come on.
Hey, you just can't fix stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just the stupidest thing he could have ever done.
Right. So they said she later cooperated with investigators by confirming Binion was inside the apartment. Authorities ultimately released her, and no additional charges have been announced. Growing role of regional task force.
Do the investigation to get those charges. That's for sure.
Yeah. So this is the highlight to this is the growing relationship between county and federal and state law enforcement. So, I mean, this was a good thing. Maybe without $3 million extra, this wouldn't have happened. I don't know, but
No, because the U.S. government paid for that one.
yeah,
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, we got a kickback for that one.
They hired
So-
an overtime cop.
Yeah,
The agency just got popularity working side by side with them because you can see the U.S. Marshals did all the work, but
Yeah, they
you
did all the
kind of want to
breaking
work with
and
the
everything
agency
else.
that's because you're going into their territory, So no sheriff's going to be happy if the U.S. Marshals come in and he doesn't even know what's going on, or the FBI. So out of respect, you have to collaborate with them and let them know what the plan is, and then have somebody on the sheriff's team be there.
Who's running comments over here? George?
I just
Hi,
threw up
George.
George's comment. George Cologne, friend of the show and contributor. We got to get George back on soon. He says the system's broken. Flowers, what does he know? That's half the community saying that too.
Have a successful arrest and the system is broken. No, that's not how.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
Well,
going to have an
the
exciting
corrections,
election when the time comes because we've got Dilks running.
It'll be interesting too, and I'm interested to see if Milo tips his hat into it again too. So
I think he will.
I hope so, and I am almost
That would be a bad move
for Milo.
Do you think so? Why?
because it's going to split the vote again in the Republican Party. It's close.
Well, this is how
primary. Goofball lady's already in there. She's shut off the debate.
Who
here,
is it? The Connie lady again?
yes, Cooney, Looney Cooney.
Oh, Looney Cooney.
That's the only reason why I remember. I'm not insulting her. I respect her, but
But you just did.
But I just did. But anyway,
Rightfully so. Right now, she's sitting in her house.
And I don't mean it.
Rightfully,
She's
right
not
now,
watching.
Based on what she said in the debate in 24, she's sitting in her house looking at the drug house across the street, which she claims is owned by the sheriff's department, that is bugging her. So she said it. I just repeat what she said.
She's loony. I'm sorry. She's not on the right side anyway, so of course she's loony like the rest of them. Here is my prediction.
Yeah, but she cuts off debate and participation in a public process to present her Looney Tunes ideas, and that's, so when you get a guy like Milo back in there, and then you get these Democrats that are over there jumping ship all the time and playing the party game, that just sure as flowers a win. Like I told you, Kevin McDonald loses a school board race with 16,000 votes, and he wins a sheriff race with 9,000 votes. Figure it out.
Yeah,
I know.
I agree. It's the whole number imbalance that during that election threw me off. But my prediction or allegation is
we should just get rid of the Democrat Party, then we wouldn't have this problem.
Right.
And they're almost going to do it themselves anyway.
The ironic thing is that they're not even a Democrat Party anymore.
Well,
they're a socialist Marxist party.
Right. You still have to deal with the Democrats.
A lot of people call them the Democratic Party. No, it's Democrats.
Yeah, you still have to get rid of the Democrats in the Republican Party. So they'll still be lingering around there. But my allegations are.
By the way, I don't believe we have to disband the Democrat Party. They do it. No. They do it well enough.
They do it themselves. I don't believe Dilks is in it for the long haul. I believe as soon as Milo decides, which will be strategic, Dilks will jump out and endorse Milo.
You're saying Dilks is not in this for the long haul?
Well, no. As far as being elected.
Come on.
I mean, I love the guy, but I'm not quite sure he's electable. I mean, it is a little bit of a drama around him. I almost feel like he understands that. But this is his opportunity. Right. This is his opportunity to raise money, to raise issues, and to have a voice in the election. And then why not? He's wanted Milo to run. He supported Milo last time. He said he would support him this time before he threw his hat in. So
he did say that.
My suspicion is he's paving the way for Milo. And Milo can come in as the clean and proper one like he was last time. And meanwhile,
Dilks can be the middle guy.
Dilks can throw the mud.
Touchberry's not in the race, so it won't be a three-way.
As opposed to having two reasonable guys and a questionable guy, now we can have one reasonable, one extreme, and a questionable. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think we have John somewhere. I don't see him, but I see comments popping up on our page. So maybe John's out there somewhere.
I mean, it's so early. You never know. 2 years is a lifetime in the political cycle. We're spitballing.
Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just speculation. But I mean, isn't politics strategic politics based on speculating what's happening next anyway? So
it is.
And I support Dilks in his campaign, and as far as raising the issues, bringing up these talking points, and I'm not saying he's not full throttle. I know he's in it for results. But you can't really come out and say, hey, I'm not in it to win it, but I'm in it, So I understand this is a political game.
We got in it to win it.
Yeah, we've got a couple people in the comments. We got
that
George.
Personality that he doesn't, he's not going to lose. He's going to be tenacious.
I think he's pretty genuine,
Yeah, he's just genuine in that way. He's enthusiastic. He loves policing. That's what I see from him. There are those questionable things that you alluded to, but that's with every person who ever runs for political office. And I don't
But
think
these
they're
guys
not
like
devastating like in some of the instances here.
no, but guys like Dilks and Lance Fisher, they love the law enforcement career that they had, and they really love and respect law enforcement. But they're trying to bring awareness on leadership, and when you have things that go wrong in the force at the lower level, the patrol level, the officer level, it's because of leadership, and that needs to change. And to make people aware of it, hopefully, it'll help to change leadership. Because like the mayor of Vero Beach, our chief doesn't work for the people; he works for the mayor of the city. So, does it really matter what the people say? You have to wonder.
Well, the mayor's elected or appointed to a council that elects him.
Yeah, but how he does his law enforcement, his job. It just doesn't seem like leadership gets too concerned when they don't work for the people. They work for the mayor or the
A sheriff is to directly work for the people, but
yeah. And he can lose his job because of the people. But when you have a city,
we have a
and
chief.
they have power over the police department. If you're in good with the mayor or you're in good with the city manager or whoever that is, nobody's going to kick you out because the people can't do it. But if the people aren't happy, they're stuck with you.
Okay, so let me ask you this question about the city, because we had this wonderful case that got completely dismissed. They filed a motion to rehear it this past week. I'm speaking of the Daniel Cook personnel thing, and she dismissed it. She said there wasn't anything there in those arguments that he made. They filed a motion to rehear. That got shot down on Monday, I believe.
What were the arguments?
Oh my gosh, if I go into that, we'll spend the rest of the show there. But I want to know what do you think is the mood inside of City Hall and all of that regarding this? I think that, I think personally, the people who brought this suit, they had an agenda outside of, the welfare of Daniel Cook.
So refresh for people who aren't up to speed on Daniel Cook. Who is he?
37-year police lieutenant. He still actually is employed.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant at the Vero Beach Police Department.
He filed a whistleblower, sort of like a whistleblower suit. Said he wasn't fairly treated. It was civil and all this stuff. And he basically, some of the stuff that he did, and they said it was harassment from on high, is what he said, because they gave him evaluations that he questioned, but then there were things that he did where he didn't follow protocols that a lieutenant's supposed to follow when they're doing whistleblower and different things like that. And the judge brought us in, and it was weird because he mentioned 2 other people in the suit that he said he had no dealings with. And you're talking about $70,000-$80,000 worth of litigation, and a 37-year cop doesn't have $78,000. So the point I'm saying in that is outside of the welfare of his particular case, there's more going on here than meets the eye. Because back in 24, when there was that big thing to get rid of Chief Curry, and it was brought before City Council and Lance Padgett over there and was going to make a speech about it with him and Mr. Core wanting to do stuff to help the police department. And then he said he lied to him and all this stuff. It's all on record. They were like, well, there's 20 cops who are willing to testify. None of them willing to testify. But then he would say in the post interview, but there is one, this Mr. Cook or Lieutenant Cook. And ultimately that case got filed. So, and the other 19, who knows who they are.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've got a lot of people that are coming to their end right now. There's people that have been working for the city, either in the police department or in the city, that have been there for like 30 plus years.
And
they're not, they're not going to come against a company that could ruin that that retirement that's coming up. So it's hard to get people to speak up. But I would say a good example of this would be, and I questioned it, is the article that Ray McNulty wrote about Kathy Taub, who was there for 13 years working in the finance department. And you know how they failed their audits because they didn't turn them in on time. And that
Correct.
Dion guy was fired. And now they have a really good woman in there working in the place. But they're shorthanded of people, and they have this accounting firm that's helping her. But at the same time, they promoted Kathy Taub to comptroller because she came from the finance department. They promoted her because she understood pensions. And for some reason, they dissolved her position when the finance department still needs hands on deck, and released her. So when I was reading the article, and I was like, why would you do that when you have a 13-year employee that you even promoted to comptroller?
Right.
And you are short people, and you're trying to meet the June 30th deadline. That's this month for
Yeah.
the 2024-2025 audit.
Tuesday, right?
Which,
Yeah.
yes, which Lisa said that she was going to put in for an extension because there's no way that she believes she can make that deadline. So when I was
Ronnie
reading,
said at the city council meeting on Tuesday, says we're going to do it in this last week.
yeah, so we'll see. I think they have hired a really good person in there. She's working her ass off and staying up late, and she came from Michigan, and she's got a lot of great background. She has another girl helping her there, and that accounting firm. But I'm really questionable about what happened, what really happened to Kathy Taub, because and it leads me to say anybody who would read this article and then listen to what Lieutenant Cook is going through would have to question, is this really happening? What's happening?
It's the leadership thing.
It is a leadership thing. You know, that's what you can deduct from all of that, because the evidence is there. Look, it's from the audits. Then you have someone who is promoted within during a time where they still need hands on deck, and they just retire, dismantle. That's the way you fire people, okay? If you can't get rid of them because you have no reason to get rid of them, and they're in the union or there's some other reason covering it, you just take their job out of the picture. And that's what they did.
Gotcha.
They shut down her position.
They eliminated her position. I see that
Exactly.
in my day job all the time.
Speaking of eliminating positions, what about these budgets with property taxes that are going to come forth?
Good segue. What? I mean,
I don't think anything's going to get eliminated personally, but that's just me.
You're right. You're probably
we're not
right.
going to lose. The politicians want to scare people into saying, "Oh, we're not going to have any money. We're not going to have any money," and that's bull. You know what? Bull poo poo.
Bull poo poo.
I think all of these government agencies have just been so happy taking our taxes that they're kind of lazy when it comes to how do we generate taxes without counting on the homeowners. They just don't know how to do it.
And this goes to the heart of the philosophy of American government. This whole property tax issue, oh my gosh. Did either one of you see the Sarasota Manatee County presentation by Governor DeSantis and Blaise Ingoglia with the mayor there of Sarasota? I think it was.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
I think I caught some of it.
I want to read to you. What Governor DeSantis said. He says, "But this is definitely something that's targeted." He's talking about the property taxes. He didn't get what he wanted. First off, he wanted to go for the $250,000 deduction in 2027-28 budget, and for January 1, 2027, and he wanted to do it not just. He wanted to include the schools in that. He was swinging for the fences. So he said, but this is definitely something that's targeted. So it is targeted. We have no school levies included in this. This is really the same at least in the first 2 years, the same policy that the House resolution passed back in February or whatever. And it's something, and it's like some people just believe that government has first dibs on your property and your income. And it's like, okay, you exist to satisfy government, and then you get the crumbs that are left over. I think it's the other way around. I think you work hard, you save, you invest, you acquire property, because you're doing what our founding fathers established this country to do.
Exactly.
You're pursuing happiness.
The American dream.
Exactly.
I cannot believe the opposition to this, though.
And well, this is it. You have a taxpayers association in this county. Their president is currently arguing against that philosophical mindset.
And you know, I'm looking at his picture online and I'm like, does he even own a house? Does he even rent an apartment? Because he still looks like he's in his diapers.
Well, I'm not going to go there. He's not in his diapers.
He looks very young to me.
He's a 26-year-old man.
Okay, we'll just call him Babyface Lance.
Wharton finance grad. He went to the same school that Trump went to, and I'm like, how do you get these two different paradigms out of the same place?
Ambitions.
Oh,
no,
ambitions.
Yeah, ambitions, political ambitions.
Yes.
That's what that is. I want to, I want to reach out and just say what all the other politicians are saying, because we rely on the people to pay us.
And this is what I tell people that have no clue online is remember the name for one reason only, because he wants to be on a ballot, and he heads a taxpayers watchdog, and he's not advising elected officials to vote for cutting taxes.
Keeping government small. I mean, when Jordan
none
Stewart
of it makes
was
sense.
In there, Jordan Stewart was great. He was a great president for the taxpayers because he fought for smaller. Yes, he fought for smaller government. You know, he joined us to fight the CSAC, changing it into a trust. And he went out there. You know, I talked to him about it, and then he was out there, hitting the pavement, going to the municipalities that didn't vote yet, so that we could stop their vote. And that's what the taxpayers should be doing, not
the Taxpayers
advocating for more
Association
taxes.
under his leadership gave the Taxpayers Association of the Year award that year to Brian Foley, the mayor of Indian River Shores, who got his town council in a 5-0 vote with advocacy from you and Mr. Stewart and a few others.
Susan Mejia.
And then they went to the town of Orchid and, talked to their friends over there and said they ended up voting 4-1 against the trust. The Taxpayers Association gave Brian Foley an award for his advocacy and work to see that trust was killed. That trust was to produce $110 million over a 10-year period. That's 11.
It was 12-year period.
No, it was he had it. He had the calculations. He said it was 110.5 over 10 years. Because he did the study on it, and that's 11 million a year. And even if it's 12, okay, whatever.
Well, the trust was locked in for 12.
The trust itself was locked in for 12, but they do it in 10 years.
Over 10 years, okay.
Yeah, and so that's 11 million bucks a year. That's more than Martin County gets right now. Martin County gets about 9. Well, they're probably up at 10 now, but last year they were getting 9, I think, on their trust for their own version of CSAC, where they buy themselves a new building and they sit independently and they run their own records department. They do all those things. It becomes this spider
Leviathan.
Thank you. And
it festers like a virus. They just get bigger. There's no government. And this is what I said.
And it's going on right now.
They're pissed off because DeSantis signed the housing bill or that take away some home rule. It's like, okay, I get the home rule thing.
Home rule?
Right. Well,
what did he take away?
It's something to do with the affordable housing. I don't know. Whatever he signed the other day took a little bit of home rule away. But my point was,
it did not.
That's what some of the critics are saying. Some of the critics are claiming. Right. So what it did is it capped away. It set a standard, an expectation where these counties can't or cities can't hike up your taxes when we finally do away with some property tax. But it was just like, okay, so you want you want, because we're in Indian River County, you want to give Sebastian open range on any available property they want to annex and put in high density housing because they've got home rule. But what about Wabasso, who borders Sebastian and shares the same infrastructure as Sebastian that Sebastian's not responsible for? It still hampers the rest of the people in the county. So when it comes to cities, I don't believe they should have rampant accessibility to annexation of endless agricultural land they're going to rezone or change building codes for. I just don't trust the locals that much.
The people who are asking for that rezoning in those annexations are the developers themselves or the landowners themselves, because they're backed into the corner with the county, and with a city council, it's easy to negotiate. Look what you guys deal with out in Fellsmere.
Right. And you get the wrong leadership in there, and things can go totally the wrong way.
Now you guys have an issue. You have an issue in Fellsmere, because I'd have to go get the paper. It's in my other room. But I looked at the tax projections for you guys, and there is some serious homestead loss. I mean, it's
for Fellsmere, yes.
Yes.
Well, and that's it. You're gonna see that across other different difference in different communities. Like Beachside. A lot of them
going to be fine.
Right. In different communities are going to act different. But I think, if anything, this forces the local governments to act more fiscally conservative, not Republican, but fiscally conservative, because they shouldn't be running $400 and something million surplus and then giving the sheriff pushback over $3 million. Meanwhile, they're writing checks for millions of dollars to these NGOs. And that was my big thing in some of these comment sections is like, okay, so you're okay with, you're complaining about your road now, but do you realize your county is giving away up to $4 million to these NGOs? And the people deciding which NGOs are getting the money just happen to be buddies or family members of the directors?
They actually work for the NGOs.
Right. They work for them, their family, whatever.
Buddies is one thing. We're in a small town, but good grief.
Right.
When you're employed, you're voting money for your employer. Who's going to say no? Who's going to say no?
Right. I think we lost Joanne.
Susan Aguirre on the grants committee said she voted to shut it down. She presented a motion to shut down the subcommittee on grants. They're the ones who do the granting. They do the scoring and the rubrics. She says this needs to be completely redone.
And what is her position in this?
She's on the subcommittee on grants, along with there's like 10 other 12 other people. It's broken down. So you have the needs assessment committee. These are the needs that we have, and then you have a grant. So they apply, they put their application in, and the grant subcommittee goes out and they score each grant. And Cindy Emerson will say to you over and over again, we don't fund organizations, we fund programs. And you're not actually I've got some quotes where you could listen to some of this stuff and they're like, you're not even assessing the value of it's weird, the gobbledygook.
Well, I mean, she's not
but hold on. So she came this year, and it's online. I haven't watched it yet, but I was talking to her on the phone. She's like, well, I've made a motion to shut down the subcommittee on grants because it just needs to be redone. And the granting is the ones who make the recommendations for the funding. So they're, NGO X comes in and says, I need $200,000 to do this. It's related to this program that you're asking for. You got to understand, this is an RFP, a request for proposal, that has $3.7 million, or it'll be $3.7 million is the grant, is the money they're getting. 8% of it goes to administrative costs, which is the offices of community services that oversee this whole nonsense. And then the rest of it is granted. And so you have an RFP for that rest of the amount. So what are you looking at? About $250,000 of the $3.7 million. So $3.5 million is going to be granted. You have one RFP that says it's worth $3.5 million. Now each one of you present something to get a slice of that through one RFP. Everyone
Right.
can be done individually. Hey, I need this to do this. Like a contractor. When we say build a building, you have 5, 6, 7 construction people come in and say, I'll build this building for this. Well, I'll build this same building for that. And you tell them what you want. Not with this thing. It's like a free-for-all. There's this big giant pie of various needs, and you get a slice of it, you get a slice of it, you get a slice of it, you get a slice of it until the 3.4 is gone.
Yeah, and she's right though, because when you look at their PowerPoint of what they funded, some of those organizations have a dozen programs that got funded through them, and it's that's a lot of money.
Hey, I love
and they all fundraise on their own.
Yeah, I love what Healthy
Well,
Start
they're not
does.
fundraising the way
I
they
do
should
too.
be. That's why they want money.
They don't have to because they can.
Healthy Start just
Right.
raised $668,000 doing Vero Dances with the Stars. Joe Ehrman ran, and one of his talking points in his campaign was, I helped raise $475,000 in Vero and the Stars because I entered as a candidate or a contestant. I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. And then you're also funding them.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Do I want to vote for a guy like that who can't separate himself? I understand you're trying to do something great for the community, but come on.
And you know what burns me is we're teaching them how to ask for grants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That
What
way.
the heck
Well,
is
that way we
That's
can
not
make sure
part
we're.
of CSAC.
Yeah, we're not here to author. We're not a college.
Yeah, it's like, why would
Not
you
an
wanna
incubator
teach
of
somebody
how
how
to be
to
an
ask you for
NGO.
money?
Most NGOs, if they have a legitimate purpose, people
They
will
know how to do it.
people will cheerfully give to it. And to force county taxpayers to give to any NGO, look, there are pro-choice people out there who wouldn't want to give to a pro-life NGO. Okay, I get it. And then there's pro-life people who don't want to give to a pro-choice NGO.
Right.
I get it. So therefore, government should not be involved in either.
Exactly.
Yeah, the comments on this is just the fear mongering. Everybody, everybody in government's telling everybody not in government, oh, you're going to lose back on services. Some of them even throw schools out there when we know schools aren't even attached to this.
Yeah. Well, there's that article just came out in TC Palm about this. Vote no on Amendment 3 campaign, and you go on there and they're like, we've got Republican revolting against this. Every quote that is on their front page came from prior to this thing even passing. The only one I haven't been able to prove is Grady Judge or whatever, the guy in Polk County, the sheriff.
Yep, Judd. Grady Judd.
Because I can't seem to find his quote anywhere except when they wrote it, which makes me wonder if he even said it. Because right now they're already misinforming the people. All of these quotes came from 2025 from these tax associations going, well, this is a good idea. This might not be a great idea. It depends on how we do it. And they're thinking out loud on their pages and writing their policies. But none of it was past June 3rd when this thing was resolved to go to the ballot. None of it. These people are a bunch of liars. That's all they are. They're just political liars. And no one should give to vote no on 3 because it's just, they're not being honest.
Yeah, and that was one of my things. If any politician that's not for cutting tax in any way, just vote them out. This isn't even okay, Fellsmere gets the biggest hit on this, right? But it's only up to 250,000, right? After
Right now,
2028.
yeah.
Well, they will be
address
constitutionally mandated to eliminate. They will have to create a schedule. So you get the first 2 years, and then the legislature is constitutionally mandated to eliminate. While they're working that out, you get further reductions that are indexed to inflation starting in 2029. So ultimately, you got to get rid of these property taxes that are, but don't include schools. And they have to figure that out. Now, a schedule to get rid of it could be 20 years.
Yeah.
Schedule to be limited, it could be 5.
You should.
Scheduled to get a limit, it could be 2 years, it could be 5, it could be 20. What will the legislature decide? That's going to be a dogfight.
They have to do it.
I predict it won't happen.
You're right. I believe you.
It'll be 5% a year until, the death of America.
Yeah. There shouldn't be any property tax on homestead. You own it. Like DeSantis says. Why don't we just play that clip real quick, and then you did a good job at quoting him, but let's hear from the guy himself.
It's like some people just believe that government has first dibs on your property and your income. And it's like, okay, you exist to satisfy government, and then you get the crumbs that are left over. I think it's the other way around. I think you work hard, you save, you invest, you acquire property because you're doing what our founding fathers established this country to do. You're pursuing happiness. You're realizing your ambitions, and in part of that, if there's taxes to support government that will help you do that, then that's one thing. Even though we don't like paying, we understand there's a small need for it. But ultimately, government is supposed to exist to be able to ensure that dream is alive, that you're able. It's like,
and it's not, because you can't get ahead when they're can raise your millage rates. They can keep raking in hand over fist year after year, and your roads still suck. The ditches don't drain. It's like, come on, man. You're not even making
your government
audits.
should be focusing on your economy and how to bring jobs and how to make it fruitful for the people that are living there. And our government, all it worries about is, we need more homes. We need more homes. We need more homes. We need more gas stations. We need more storage units. It's ridiculous, because look at Vero Beach. It's growing, growing, growing. But where's the competitive job market for all these houses? And all the new houses are unaffordable. They're more expensive. And then houses like mine, they keep assessing the value more and more because of what's going on around me. And it's like, well, why is my house more assessed when I haven't even done anything dramatic to my house yet? But because all this housing around me is
land. That's the beauty of a home. That's the home is the quintessential asset for the middle class. It is,
as long as it's affordable for the middle class. If it's out of reach, it's no longer there. Your dream is gone. Even an apartment is gone, because now
your house is going to go up. You have a cap on property tax at 3% for the assessed value of it, so that's good. For them to. So if you got a house that's $100,000, and then next year it goes up 10%, well, they can only charge you 3% of that 10, so it'd be $103,000. That's your property tax, and then you get your deduction, and so on and so forth. But that being said, that keeps you in your home, and property values are going up. Look, the city of Vero Beach, $2.6 million of homestead revenue, of property tax revenue increases in the last 2 years, increasing over a 5-year span at 1.1 million revenue clip on a 13, which is now 13.754 million is their revenue for property taxes, homestead, non-homestead, and commercial. 13.754. The year before, it was 12 million. That's a $1.75 million jump in 1 year. And he's upset over there. Monteval's like, we're going to have to cut this because we're going to have a $1.27 million deduction with the 250,000 clip. 8.1% it jumped from 24 to 25. From 25 to 26, it jumped 9.8%. How much is revenue going to jump this year? I bet it breaks 10. If it breaks 10, he's going to have another $1.8 million or whatever. If it breaks 10%, he's going to get at least 1.37.
Yeah.
Hey, 1.37 in a year already wipes out his deduction. He'll have an extra $100,000 in revenue. In other words, if he just keeps his spending levels even, he didn't cut nothing. These people are infuriating.
But they need that money to give raises. Do you think our sheriff?
Hold on to that. Hold on to that. Because go watch the Finance Committee of Indian River Shores, who just proposed a second. They were at 1.33. I just watched this afternoon in preparation for the show. So they're at 1.33. Then they went down to 1.28 last year. Now they want to go down to 1.24 millage rate cut. And they're giving 4% to their CBA, their collective bargaining agreement. They're giving 5% to their directors, and they're giving 7% raises to their staff.
Wow, that's a good raise.
Yeah, they projected the healthcare. These are how smart these people are. It's all on their public record. The healthcare people came back. We're going to have a 35% increase in rates. So they went in there and hardballed with them. They got that down to a 15% increase.
That's great.
You know, which is only 5%. They said it's been 10%, 10%, 10%. The finance director, Heather Christmas over there, they're smart. They pay attention. You know, there's a reason they're wealthy, because they bean count properly. And what's happening on this side of the lagoon, they should go over there and look at that little microcosm called Indian River Shores. You know, and everyone goes, Jim Harpering, their finance director said, or their city manager said, hey, people say, well, you just got like a $10, $12 million budget. It's really small, blah, blah, blah. You don't have any enterprise funds really, and all this stuff. He says, I've got one person over here doing 3 jobs that normally 3 people would do. But we make it work, and they're happy about it. I've never seen a happier finance department in all my life. It's like, it's just a wonderful little.
Well, and they pay them well, you know.
Yeah, and they're doing things, but that doesn't mean that they don't have their struggles. He says this is one of the hardest things you do, because you spend a lot of time, because you limit your human capital, and people just work. But I've never seen happier people in presentation. You know, and
they should take note. Other municipalities should take note.
They should, and it's like, you know, you guys are not going. I guarantee you, this $250,000 thing is not going to reduce. It's going to obviously reduce revenue, but it's not going to be a negative.
Yeah, it's
unless you know, we have some unforeseen outside financial and or geopolitical incident that or we have 5 hurricanes rip through here at once.
Right.
It's not going to do any of this.
Yes.
I would love to have a vote on this
in those years.
I'm going to vote on it, and I hope that it passes, because I want to see our county commission start to be fiscally responsible and start looking where they can make those cutbacks.
Absolutely.
They're expecting you know, there's $1.27 million shortfall. I'll bet you $10-15 that the revenue increase will be as such that they'll have at least 1.27 million in there. So that means their baseline would actually be 0, and there wouldn't be any increase. There wouldn't be any decrease. It'd probably be more. At the rate of growth that we're having in revenue right now, it will probably be more.
Yeah. Okay, we're late for our second sponsor for tonight. When we come back,
just cut me off.
No, you're good. No, it was great. When we come back, we can talk about the next subject, or we can do all our shameless plugs about all of our shenanigans going on. But we'll be right back.
To groove, because the Dave Scott Jam is cranking every Wednesday night at Filthy's Fine Cocktails and Beer. Join Dave Scott live from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. for an evening of incredible music, cold drinks, and a great local atmosphere right in the heart of Vero Beach. You'll find Filthy's at 1236 16th Street, Vero Beach, Florida. And be sure to come back on the second Thursday of every month when IRC Media broadcasts the Conspiracy Club 101 Live from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Dave Scott Jam. Every Wednesday night. Filthy's Fine Cocktails and Beer, where the music never stops.
It's always fun on the second Thursday of the month. And yeah, I did my voiceover for that, and I was happy with it. Well, they suck. All my voiceovers suck. So I was like, oh, maybe somebody else will do a better one. And then you tried, and I was like, I'm going to use AI. That's what I'm going to use.
I tried not to bomb, but
yeah, we should get Courtney from Filthy's to do that. She would do a good voiceover for her bar there. Well, she works there, but Yeah, thanks again to Nick from Filthies for hosting the Conspiracy Club on the second Thursday of every month. It's kind of between him and Joe Sepp. It's kind of like their little brainchild. So John does the podcast, and we set it all up and we stream it. So it's a lot of fun at Filthies in Vero Beach. We stream it live, and you can come down in person. We usually have shirts, which again, let me throw out that shameless plug. Check out our website. If you follow us on Facebook, I'm sure you've been annoyed with all of my promos going out there. But the 4th of July is coming up, and this whole year, these shirts will be around. We've got a handful of supplies left, but check out the website, ircmedia.net, and you'll see the opportunity to check out our merch, which we have a Conspiracy Club shirt. We have this America 250 shirt, which this is the wrong image that you pointed out, and I never fixed it. Thank you, Thomas. But it's her shoulder. Arm. Yeah, it's you know how it goes. Our photographer got a little hairy, but
quite literally.
Yes, check out the site. If you use, this is the wrong graphic, but if you use coupon code John1776, you get $10 off.
Ooh.
And or I believe you can actually, if you buy 2, you still get $10 off each. I'm not sure. Either way, check out our website, ircmedia.net and whatnot. And definitely make sure you subscribe to Thomas's Substack. And that is, I always forget how Substack does their URLs. It's Thomas Augustus at Substack, right?
ThomasAugustus.substack.com.
Got it. It's in our description, so make sure you click on that link and subscribe. It's free, or you can pay to help support an independent journalist, put more stuff out there.
Please pay me.
I love Substack too, because I don't have time to read articles. Most of the time I consume these articles. I'm going to or from work, or I'm at work. But Substack's got that awesome feature where you can listen to an article.
Yeah. And Thomas, you do such a good job. I really enjoy reading your articles.
He does. And it's all you.
Them, Mike?
I do. Sometimes the voices throw me off. I haven't figured out if I can change them or not, but you do all your writing.
Yes.
Contrary to my writing, it's not my writing. I use AI to aggregate some information and cross-source some sources and information.
Fine.
But
make sure you validate that AI.
Yeah, we do, and I do. I run it through a couple of different ones, and I mainly do it. And you know why I started doing that?
You use AI to validate AI?
Yeah, I'll use multiple AIs, different providers, because sometimes they are biased, and because they're programmed.
Grok be a school board critic.
Grok, it doesn't really jive really good for me, but I use it for a backup.
I wrote back to Grok and I said, "You're calling me the school board critic. I'm the guy you're referring to." And it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah. Well, for instance, I use Chat GPT to make our thumbnails, right?
Funniest thing, man.
And it put the escapee on our thumbnail was a white guy. And the prompt was put a guy in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs, but we don't want to be able to tell who the guy is. And they made him a white guy. So when I asked them to correct it, like, can you blur out skin color because the inmate was black? Mm-hmm. And it flagged it for content it cannot produce. I was like, really? The guy's black. It's nothing fake. We're not manipulating anybody's image. It's just a silhouette.
I'm a black person.
I get into these.
The thing is that AI won't make any. That's weird.
Listen, I've fought over with
I don't even
AI.
want to have that conversation.
Yeah, we can. I've got many of examples that aren't worth it, but yeah. So check out our website too, because there's some information out there. But definitely check out Thomas's Substack. Mm-hmm. With real, true journalism still in play. And are you still contributing for 32963, Thomas?
Yeah, on occasion.
Okay.
It's a little slow right now, so
Which I would say, 32963.
Keep their staff eating and working.
Yes. 32963, I've had my opinion on them. I used to only get their opinion pieces, which would probably drive my emotions too, but they put out some good stuff. Nick Samuel, right? And there's a couple other writers there that cover actual news.
I like their setup. Like you can if you missed a month or you missed an article, all their articles are there. I really love that setup that they have because you can go back in time and look things up. You know, if
You can
somebody
do
says,
that at mine too.
"Oh yeah, yours too."
And you can do that at ours too.
It's the beauty of Substack. It's just all there.
Yeah.
All right, listen to this on the old property tax. Okay, so this printout here is the one Monty presented at the special call meeting they had. It's a printout from Wesley Davis, and essentially it shows the current homestead, and then it shows where homestead will be in 2028, going into that 28-29 budget. All right. So currently right now, and it's indexed to inflation at 3%. That's what they use. Right now, inflation, the last CPI was 2.7, so they just use 3 for the purposes of this. But it proves to the point right already, because assessed homestead values currently that they have is $2,048,367,400 bucks. Okay? So that's basically $2 billion. And the taxable homestead is 1.8. So with the $50,000 deduction, right? And so that produces currently 5.3 million in homestead revenue. So when you go to 250, which is in 2 years, and they're being conservative here because they're only going 3% increases. We've noted what? Already 10%. We're at 9.8. I'm predicting 10%. So in next year, they say conservatively it's going to go to 2.168 billion in property. But if we do the 10% model, that would be it'd be about 2.4 billion. And then the taxable value is 1.5 because you got $150,000 exemption per property. So that goes down to 4.7 million from 5.3. That's $600,000 deduction. And that in the next year, so you start with 2.4 and another 10% is another 2.4 million. So now you're up to you're up to 10%. What's 10% of $2 billion? It's 200 million, right?
Yep.
So 240 million. So that would actually be 2.8 billion assessed value. They say here 2.23. Okay, so this is very conservative. But if we're clipping at 8 to 10%, these estimates are not even worth using.
Mm-hmm.
Because in real time in the market, I have it for the last 5 years. Now it's got, it went from, if I pull it up, this is the whole thing. I really believe we're just going to have tons of revenue.
I do too.
And people are going to come down here and they're going to grind it for 5 years to get this. Because where is it going to be when they get here finally? Let's say they come in 2028. Well, they don't get the 250K. But if they grind it and then they put it in the schedule, they get whatever point that 5 year ends, they get that deduction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of money in their pocket. Automatically. That's like a boon. It's like a retirement plan when they retire. So it's cool that way. And I just think they're totally out of bounds with this. And they look at budgeting and they look at revenue and incoming revenue as a zero-sum game. We automatically lost 1.27 million. We'll never get it back. It's not true.
Mm-mm.
You're going to get it back because growth is happening. This is a matter of economics.
Yeah.
Make it more friendly for business and tourism, which is where we make a lot of our money on. And,
and they're complaining
farming.
about they're complaining about this SB4. You had gone offline, Joanne, but Mike and I were talking. I said that is nothing to do with home rule. So remember last year when we had the big budget battle, And Joe's like, we can't raise the millage rate. Right? Remember all that?
I remember that.
And there was also, prior to that budget battle, there was also the discussion of doing the rollback. Actually, they present the rollback, right? So the rollback rate is keep funding at current levels, roll it back to maintain what it was 524 million. Yeah, it was 524 million. So roll back your millage to get 524 million to maintain your current levels of spending. So this is what this law says. Now we have to have the rollback rate presented, or you can have the growth rate, right? The extra, which is going to be 8.9. That averages 8.7% amongst the 4 taxes. It's about 8.7% growth annually. So that's 5% over your 6% over your inflation. So think about this. They have to now vote to maintain the increase with the market, or otherwise they have to accept, and they have to have 3 of 5 commissioners do it. It's home rule, but you're telling people we're going to continue with the increase of millage. That's what this little rule is. So you have next year in this budget, when they come in and say, well, we had a 9% increase in revenue potentially, but our rollback rate is here at 597, because that's our budget, right? $600 million for the county. And let's say it goes up to 650 because of the increase in values. They have to now vote to increase it to that 650 number. That's what this is. It's making things more transparent for stuff they've been doing all along. That's all this is. It's an administrative vote.
Yeah. I was just going to say that it makes it more transparent.
But it's going to put you on record that you look like you're voting for a tax increase. Like Joe's like, well, we never voted for a tax increase. Yeah, you didn't have to. It's an interesting little tidbit of information.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I like how you explained it.
And that's cool.
The numbers get people confused, and that they get scared. I mean, when Ethel is worried the fire truck isn't going to show up when they call 911, these people are playing on emotions, and they really need to stop, especially these 26-year-olds that live with mommy and daddy and don't pay taxes with these giant financial degrees. Like, come on, none of this makes sense.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
it's socialist. Right. If you're against cutting this homestead tax exemption, almost every excuse out there, if you read on Facebook, these people are describing themselves as socialists. Oh, well, what do you mean? You're going to cut back on county services?
You bet.
Yes, we are. That's the purpose. The government shouldn't be running a surplus.
The growth is so intense right now. We're in a these,
and it's not slowing down.
The city's in its 3rd year of giving raise increases. They have a 5% one that they have to. And why did they do this? Because they were flush with cash, and so we're like, we're going to give our employees these. They've done 3 years of raise increases, and the next one's 5%. That one gets taken care of in that growth number.
Yeah. Meanwhile, candidates for county commissioner who were city council members, slip in these other programs. You're right. Slip in these programs or these contracts that people really weren't for. I don't even know how to say his name, but he's an ass.
McPartland?
Yeah, he's not a Republican.
I didn't say he was an ass, but
I did.
Yeah, he's not.
Actually, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I don't know him personally, but some of the people that are out there pushing for him, they are, because they're fear-mongering. They're asses. It's just not called for. And
he was like, I pray to God, in that forum he did, the Republican executive committee. He's like, I pray to God, the sky's falling, and he's like, I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm like, that's not a good answer of confidence in a vote for a voter take.
Okay, so let me vote for you. So because you
sounded
don't
to
know
me
what
like
you're
he
gonna
didn't know.
do. You
You
know,
don't
it's
know
like,
what they're
come on.
gonna do though.
It sounded to me like he didn't do any research on it. You know.
I need that clip. I need that clip. But anyways, guys, we're running over an hour. We can keep going if you want, or we can wrap this up. It's up to you guys.
Well, hey, so let's talk about what's going on.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's talk about this. August 18th primary election. Florida is
Sorry,
a closed
Joanne.
primary state. July 20th deadline registration for political party changes. Complete application online at voteindianriver.gov. In person at 4375 43rd Avenue, Vero Beach 32967.
That's Thomas, you should do our voiceovers. I didn't mean to click that on live, but I was getting it ready because I thought that's where you were going with it, Joanne. But
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely some election dates coming up. Pay close attention to that. Does that say the deadline for switching is over already? July 20th.
July
yes.
20th.
Yeah, but you know what else, guys, is we
You're
got
telling
the,
everybody to jump their party to the other guy.
No, don't. I'm not all for that at all. I'm sorry. I'm just not for that. But there are some, hey, if that's what you got to do to get the right people in, I don't know. But this is actually put out.
They're the ones who don't have 30%.
But this is put out by Leslie Swan's office. This is her graphic.
Oh, it is? I
Yes.
like it.
Except it's telling people the deadline to change political parties.
People change all the time.
Right. In a closed primary state, unfortunately.
That's what they have to do if they want
Right.
to push a certain party member over, because I don't like the closed election because I feel like it's excluding people from voting.
I like it. I don't like open primaries. But I will say, in the case of our state, we do have these issues with, Miss Cooney and in our county. It works against you. But the only thing a closed primary does is tell people you must participate. This is your moment to actually do something. Now, well, my vote doesn't matter. This is a perfect example of why it does.
Like right here on the screen too, because we're part of a new district. We're part of a new district, and none of these names are familiar to us. There's one guy from our county, Dan Green. I think Ben Butler was in town the other day.
Yes,
and we're gonna have that Thomas. I don't know how to say
Thomas
that.
Chalafo Jr.
Chalafo. Yeah, we'll have him on July 10th.
July 10th at 7 p.m. Yeah.
And he was the one who ran against Aaron Soto, the incumbent down there, the Democrat incumbent.
Yeah.
So he ran against him last time?
Yeah, he lost, but that was in the old District 9.
And did he just recently move to Indian River?
No, he's still living where he is. He's just part of our district now.
Oh, okay.
The district has
with
Glades,
this new district.
Okeechobee.
Yeah, with this new district. Before it was
larger.
+8 Democrat, now it's +8.
Oh, we're talking about Chalafo.
Republican, yes. Chalafo.
Okay, it's Dan Green is the one that lives in Indian River County.
Yes.
Correct.
I've got a large police presence down the road. Hopefully everything's okay.
You're like at the end of the road.
I'm halfway down, but I'm out in the middle of nowhere. So there's a couple of farms down the road. I got a message and then I can hear the sirens. Sorry, it was very distracting. But yeah, so look at all these names coming up, and only one of them's a Democrat, and he's the incumbent. So all those other names are going to fight for this position, and we don't know any of them. So hopefully we'll get to know Thomas Chalafo on July 10th. And if any of these other guys, if you know any of these other guys, tell them to answer their phone. We want to have them come on the show.
Hey guys, are we going to have a show on July 3rd, the day before 4th of July?
I have nothing going on. I mean, it's just July 3rd to me. You guys, if we have to book a show, we can book a show. But I'm looking forward to the July 4th.
Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to mention that 4th of July America 250 events in Vero Beach and Sebastian. So we've got U.S. City of Vero Beach, USA all day. Celebrate the 4th all day, starting in downtown at 10 a.m. is the parade. Mm-hmm. And then they have in the antique car show from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. At Riverside Park, they have the bounce houses, food trucks, and contests starting at 4 p.m. and fireworks at 9 p.m. So it's an all-day event if you go down there. And then on the 55th annual Sebastian 4th of July Freedom Festival, celebrate with a full day of patriotic fun at Riverview Park in Sebastian. Parade starts at 8:30 a.m., followed by contests and live music, and then fireworks at 9 p.m. So that's going to be going on. You'll have activities from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And then they have there's a long-standing Vero tradition. It's a family-friendly swim, kayak, paddleboard. I might do this out to the SS Breckenshire Wreck with champagne toast around the flag, and that's July 4th at 8 a.m. That's called Swim to the Wreck.
Is that does Joe Semco put that on?
I don't know who puts that on.
I know he goes out there and he puts the flag up every year.
Yeah,
he's the guy who does a lot of photography and drone footage.
Amazing.
He's really great personality too.
I like the sound of that, so I'm going to
His
see if
pictures
I
are
can get
incredible.
John.
They are. I don't know him
to do
personally,
that.
but I would love to get him on the show too because he's got an inspiring personality. So that was Vero's information, correct?
Yeah, Vero's information. That
And
was,
I've got Sebastian's up here, which is same thing. Parade starts at 8:30 a.m. in Sebastian. The festival is from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. The fireworks are at 9 p.m. And the parade's always interesting. My kids are always in a parade for something or another, but it gets so dang hot.
Does it ever?
So
yeah,
hot. So
and it's been hot lately and humid, so hopefully.
yeah.
Must be summer or something.
I will be volunteering in the parade, but I will make sure I have a cooler full of
What
water.
are you volunteering for in the parade?
I'm driving for one of my favorite school board members. It's not an endorsement. Well, it is a personal endorsement, but not an endorsement of IRC Media, but it's an endorsement of Michael Bolak. I'll be driving the truck in front or behind Jackie Rosario. So I look forward to doing that for Jackie. And the kids will be in with the Boy Scouts and stuff like that. So it's
IRC Media is not going to endorse Jackie Rosario.
Well, she's a friend of the show, but she advertises with us, so we're not endorsing anybody. However that works, we'll keep it clean. But shout out again to George. George, you posted a link and looks like hieroglyphics on our end. Do me a favor. if you'll share that link in the group page in the Sebastian Vero Fellsmere community page, post it in there, and that way we can check it out and comment on it, share it, and all that. So
Thrive gets free. Thrive gets 3-year rent-free lease on the hospital district property.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, that's an article from Vero News. So you can also go there, but you can share it to our group page and help us out.
How did that happen?
Right.
Yeah, but I don't even know that
property they were going to turn into a home, and then they couldn't do it because they had to they didn't have the proper zoning for it or something. So they were going to sell it. Now they haven't sold it. They gave it to Thrive. I'm asking.
Probably make another segment out of that.
Yeah, there's going to be limitations on that, though, right? Because you can't have certain things happening because of the type of property it is. Is that what it was?
Well, they were
or where it is,
like a halfway house or something, and
right.
Yeah, they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So
we'll look into that too.
The way I understand.
Next week, I don't believe we do have. What is next week?
It's July 3rd.
Okay, so
next
July
Friday
3rd.
July 3rd.
Hey, I will be out at Burgers and Brews this weekend.
Burgers and Brews. Where's Burgers and Brews?
Going to be at the fairgrounds tomorrow from, I believe, 11 to 3 or 11 to 4. So you got to come out. You got to eat like 10 burgers and rate each one. No, you don't have to do that, but you probably should because they're always like great hamburgers there. And Republican Club of Indian River will be out there. We have some America 250 gear. Come on out and get some.
Cool.
And but we'll be out there eating hamburgers and hanging out and having fun. Burgers and Brews is, I think they raise money for UP, if I'm not mistaken. So, which is
I would love to enjoy that. Unfortunately, I will be at the grill again out in front of Sam's Club raising money for Children's Miracle Network. So
you're the one making the Philly cheesesteaks with the whiz?
The 10. You heard about the Wiz?
What cheese?
I saw
Yes.
the Wiz in the picture,
Yes,
man.
absolutely.
Serious?
He's completely old school, man. He's legit.
It is a Philly cheesesteak. It's not a Vero Beach cheesesteak. It's
Not
not
an anywhere else cheesesteak.
Chicago cheesesteak.
No.
This is a Philly cheesesteak.
It's a
And
Philly
I've
cheesesteak.
And they use
been having
Wiz?
this debate for the whole month of June because that's what we do for June. We raise money for CMN. So
You haven't even cleaned the grill today, have you?
I did too. I did. Yes, we got one more day, maybe 2 more days out there, but I'm off Sunday, so we're gonna push it on Saturday.
Literally, you put that picture out on the social media for IRC media, and I saw the picture of it had the cheese.
I did that on purpose. I
was like, that boy is legit.
Yes, it's a Philly cheesesteak. I ain't no white cheese on my cheesesteak.
Man.
Ain't no provolone on this cheesesteak.
You're like total South Street, man.
Yeah, and it's $10. $10 cheesesteak. Where are you going to get a cheesesteak for $10 or a burger with the chips and soda for $5 off the grill? No, you're not.
Are you Cheese Whiz in the burgers?
No,
it's not a Philly burger. It's a Philly cheesesteak.
not a Philly burger.
Yeah, you only get the Whiz on the cheesesteak.
That's it. That's it. Same with peppers and onions and mushrooms. Got to do it.
Oh.
Come down and pregame before your burgers and brews. I'll be out. Actually, I'll be out. We to fire it up until about 10 o'clock, and we're only out there until about 1:30. So that's as much heat as I can take. We do this out in front of Sam's Club every June. So yep.
Sam's Club.
So you're running the grill, huh?
Yeah.
Using steakums and all that.
I do. Yes. I'm gonna let you guys go because apparently we've got some activity going on next store, maybe in our property. I don't know, but I'm gonna go check things out. So
Alex got to go get a news story. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes. All right. So everybody, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I don't know if we'll be here next week or not. There will be something playing next week one way or another, and probably maybe the fireworks if I can get everything to work right. I might stream Sebastian's fireworks. So stay tuned. Thomas, thank you. Joanne, thank you again. And
Joanne, thank you. Mike, thank you.
Make sure you check out the website, ircmedia.net, and get your America 250 shirt. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.